there, it's me again, Anna, except this time Los Angeles edition. I'm sitting on the floor because I couldn't figure out where to vlog, and the camera angle's kind of weird because I can't figure out where to put it. But you know, we're just gonna roll with it because I wanted to make a video. In fact, I wanted to make a video a long time ago, but I just never made myself do it. Now today is Friday and I don't have classes, I don't really have homework. I do have essays due to next week, but I don't have to start it yet. Anyways, I decided I'll just make the vlog because it's been too long. I was gonna make one at the beginning of the quarter, and now it's the end of week 6, so buckle up, I got a lot to talk about. The weather is beautiful. You can see it's still sunny, it's kind of hot. I'm wearing like summer clothes. I hear it's snowing today in Maryland. Pretty cool. The first thing I wanted to talk about was my experience transferring here in terms of how it worked with my classes and getting credit and everything, because I did not fully understand that when I chose to transfer, and through orientation and through petition process I learned a lot, so I just wanted to document that, and in case anyone was ever wondering, they could hear more about what it's like to transfer from out of state. So I know it's not the case for every single transfer, but the overwhelming majority of transfers from California community colleges have this special program called IGETC. It's some abbreviation for general education program or something. So if you complete it at your college and you're IGETC certified, then when you come to UCLA, you give them your IGETC certification, and they're like, yep, you've got all your GEs, you don't need to do any more. Now, IGETC is only a California thing, so I don't have it in Maryland. I don't have any way to do that, so I had to transfer in all my classes individually. In fact, when they evaluated my transcript, almost nothing transferred over automatically. I got a lot of credits, so I have all the units, but in terms of fulfilling requirements like general education and even my major requirements, they did not give that. Nothing happened automatically, so that was surprising at first. So I was like, so what do I do? Also, something to note is that I believe they don't let you transfer any upper division credit at all, so anything you transfer will be lower division credit. So what happened? I went to orientation and I found out that no, I don't have general education passed just because I finished a general education program at my college and got an associate's degree. UCLA doesn't look at that. They just kind of start over from scratch. Something I was shocked to find out was that AP credits do not count towards general education. You can get units from them. I have a lot of units from AP credit, but you can't use them to fulfill gen ed requirements, which was frustrating because they did at my old college and that helped me get my associate's degree, but that also meant that I took less classes at my community college that would count for GE in general. So I have less things that I could try to transfer over here. So at orientation, which by the way for transfers is only one day, I found out all in the same 9-hour span that I had over half my GEs to complete, would have to do a bunch of course petitions, and had to figure out what classes I should enroll in all the same day. It was very overwhelming. Just because I had not known that information, that you can't use AP credits to satisfy gen eds, and that I just had a bunch of gen eds to do. I guess this information just wasn't made very clear to me being an out-of-state. I know there are so few out-of-state transfers. My guess is that they don't care too much about us, providing us with information. A lot of the information online for transfers is for California community college transfers or California transfers. So I didn't get a lot of information on what to expect in terms of my transcript coming in. So when I got here, then I had to do a bunch of course petitions. So I had to do petitions both with my major department in communications and with the college for gen eds. So I was petitioning maybe even some of the same courses to both departments. For communications, the advisor was pretty easy to reach out to. I would just email her my syllabi and ask her for the course substitution, and she passed it on to whoever it needed to be looked at by, and then she got back to me on whether I could satisfy the requirements. For the most part, like a lot of the individual classes for my lower division major requirements were in different departments, so I asked each department and most of them got approved, all except for one of my lower divs in comm, which was comm 10. And I was kind of frustrated about that because I used 2 classes to petition at first. They rejected it. I was like, how about 4? Combine these 4 classes and please give me comm 10. They didn't, so I have to take it at some point. And it's a weeder for the major, like people who are trying to get into the major had to take it. So that's gonna be great. I'm sad I had to take that. I was expecting not to have to. So I thought I had maybe 5 or 6 of my lower division major requirements out of 7 coming in. Turns out I think I only had 4. So that's more classes to take than I thought I did. The main thing that I had more classes to take in than I thought I did though was gen eds, because I thought I had 0. I have 7. I petitioned a lot of courses with the college. A lot of them got denied. I was banking on a lot of them getting approved. But it turns out that it may not matter too much because like a lot of the courses that I'm going to take for my lower div major requirements anyway will help with the GEs. So there's a little bit of overlap. Just having to take that many lower division units that I didn't expect is going to make it really hard for me to get out of here on time. That's what I thought. If you add just my major requirements and the gen ed requirements, I would have enough classes to get out of here on time. But then there's an upper division unit requirement as well. So you had to take 60 units of upper division credit while you're here to graduate. And since basically all GEs are lower division, then I can't overlap those. So I'm gonna have to take a little bit of extra classes to make it out. So I think everything else went out the window really quickly. Like I don't have opportunity for a minor or a double major or any other small programs. I really had to stick to my requirements and overlap as much as possible, and I can't really waste time doing anything that doesn't fit in my program. So I hope that was helpful in just kind of understanding more about how I transferred my classes. It was very manual, and a lot more things got rejected than I thought. I felt kind of defeated, like I have less requirements done than like a sophomore, but actually after transferring all my units, I have more units than like a junior. So it's like I'm in a really weird spot. Bad. Like I think I'm like sunburning my leg or something. I don't feel good about this. The one thing like I bought for my room that I haven't used yet is like my sunblock. I should use that. So how is the quarter system? I like it. I like classes being over faster. Things are done quicker. We're already in 6 weeks and like we're like 2/3 there, and like I feel like it hasn't been that long, and I like that. But I also feel like my classes this quarter are like really easy, and now that I know that I have so many requirements to take, I wish I had taken like another class this quarter, but that can't be helped at this point. I've met a lot of like STEM majors and South Campus majors, and they seem to be having like a really busy time with like a lot of midterms and some really hard classes. I feel like I just don't have hard classes yet, and maybe it'll get different when it's like faster and harder, but like right now I'm just kind of chilling. I'm actually having the most relaxed time, like in terms of academics, that I think I've ever had in a while. So, how is adjusting to life here in terms of living? It is amazing. I am so thankful. I'm dorming on the hill right now. I'm living in Deneve Birch, and I could not be more thankful for my room, my roommate, the location is great, and all the food we get to eat, oh my gosh, none of it is bad. It's all so good. Like, I could eat anything I want at any time. I go down to Deneb for breakfast every day and eat eggs. I cannot get sick of eggs. I love eggs. Something else that I'm just like really thankful for here is just like learning things again. Like I visited California. I kind of know how California works, or I know how like city works. I don't know, like people live the same. They don't. It's very different. Like all the buildings are different. Like they're all like kind of flat and square, and like the trees are all different. Like the vegetation just looks different, and like the roads are different. Like they're made of like concrete instead of like asphalt or something, and like it's so like everything's like brand new, and like I feel like I'm discovering like the world again. It's so cool, and I'm such like in wonder of God's creation, and like it reminds me to like look at everything like a child again. So I love it. How has the transition been kind of socially, I guess? Well, I would say it's been the same again. Just kind of coming in the middle of everything and being new, but also being a junior is like, it's really challenging to navigate. Like, you're supposed to have some sort of experience or authority, or you're almost done, or you're further along, but you're also new and you just don't know how the environment works. So I think the main group of people I've been trying to get to know is from AACF. It's the only like fellowship I really checked out, but I'm trying to get to know the people in there and like form friendships and relationships with them, hopefully. But it's tough because I'm struggling to connect with people because I'm a junior, and like a junior is supposed to have some sort of, you're further along, or you're like an upperclassman or something. But really, I feel as new as a freshman, and I have no experience just like them, and I'm learning everything for the first time. And like I don't know anything about UCLA, so, but I'm not a freshman, and so I'm kind of like rejected from their group, and I don't know, I'm trying to hang out with freshmen, but it feels exactly like when I was a junior in high school. It's just like, you can hang out with a freshman, but you're not a freshman. Something interesting about AA too that I've never really experienced is that it's very stratified by class, and so like people in their class are like really tight or whatever, and like I see that with the sophomores who are just got done being freshmen, and they're starting to step up doing leadership or whatever in AA, and I don't know, they just kind of know all each other. And then the juniors all live together off campus in like this one apartment building. It's called 424 because it's 424 veteran, and I don't see them. It's easy living on the hill, just like feeling very surrounded by freshmen and sophomores, because the number of juniors is quite low. A lot of juniors don't choose to live on campus, and especially within AA. And I know I'm not the only junior who's not like living with them. There's other people living other places, but it's like I think the distance does make it harder to connect with them. Not to mention the fact that like they've spent 2 years in college already together, and they know each other, and they've kind of got a thing going on. They've got a group, they've got their friendships, and yeah, it's just tough trying to break into that. It's something I've faced before, so I'm trying. I'm reaching out. It's funny, I don't know if like that's too entitled of me, but like I feel like maybe I deserve to be welcomed or reached out to, but I haven't really felt that yet. And I was like, it's week 5, I don't really know anyone yet, so I was like, I think I'll probably just ask someone to hang out just so I can get to know them. And so I did that with a couple people. I guess that's all that's been on my mind, really. God has really been showing up and showing me Him and leading me through each week. I'm very thankful for everything He's provided and just the beauty of everything around me. It's amazing, and I'm very thankful. And I know, like, whenever people ask me, like, how did you come from Maryland to here? Like, why'd you end up here? I don't really know how to answer that, but I know God has placed me here for a reason. There's got to be something bigger, and I'm just going to wait for it and proceed through it when God presents it to me. Yeah, so overall, I know I'm not the only person with a story that's not the, oh, I came in as a freshman when I was 18 and I have 4 years and then I graduate. That's the typical narrative, right? That's what this college is built for. That's what this space is built for. That's how AA was built for. I know I'm not the only one like that. There are people who are like older and younger, and people who are commuters and other transfers, and people from community college, right? But I think it can feel easy to like feel alone, be the only one with this kind of story where you don't fit into that narrative, and just navigating a space that's not built for you, just seeing a space that's not made for transfers. And I'm a very typical transfer. I'm not a very abnormal. It's a little discouraging sometimes, just trying to make my way socially when I'm in the middle of everything. But I have been faced with unusual circumstances, and those won't change, so I must do my best to make my way despite it and not rail against it. So.
Of course.
Well, that's my update. I don't even know if I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about, and I probably spoke too quietly because I'm kind of embarrassed. Whatever. I'll try to make myself make more videos in the future just so I have more updates for looking back for myself, what I've been feeling through UCLA, and for anyone else. No one's gonna watch this except my mom. Hi, Mom.